He does everything.
You know, and if all this were not enough, in that new interview with the New York Times, the president also comes to the very strong defense of Bill O'Reilly of Fox News, who has now, according to a long story over the weekend in the New York Times, settled several sexual harassment lawsuits for many millions of dollars. Let me read a sentence from what the president said. I think he's a person I know well. A good person. I think he shouldn't have settled. Personally, I think he shouldn't have settled because you should have taken it all the way. I don't think Bill did anything wrong. You know, and that's going to cause a bit of an uproar, shall we say, as well.
You know, talk about the education of Donald Trump becoming president. Don't talk about Bill O'Reilly and a sexual harassment suit or suits when you know nothing about the context and the content of what those suits are. Okay, it's nice that he's a loyal friend. It's nice that they've known each other for years and years, and he's coming to his defense. But he's the president of the United States. And to say that, no matter how nice he's been, is completely inappropriate.
Yeah, for the president of the United States, Gloria, to say, I don't think Bill did anything
based on
wrong.
nothing. Yeah, based on nothing. And this is after the White House made a big showing of Women's History Month and how welcoming it was to women, and talking about Ivanka Trump and empowering women and economic empowering of women. And for him to come out and essentially say there's no there in terms of these women, it's troubling, and he should have said no comment. I mean, I do think there is background here. He himself, Donald Trump, I mean, we all remember the Access Hollywood tape and the things he was saying on that tape, and some of the accusations leveled at him. So he probably should have just passed on this question.
He was also loyal to Roger Ailes and giving Roger Ailes advice privately during the campaign.
There's a sort of boys will be bullied.
The former leader of Fox News who was removed.
I mean, I am sure that the aides who were in that room were not happy when he weighed in on this.
They probably got physically nauseous.
Right. They were not happy. And they might not have been happy either when he said that he believes that Susan Rice ought to be prosecuted, because that's something his Justice Department, if there is any there, let your Justice Department do that. Don't speak publicly on it. I mean, you know.
But that's political. That's continuing to say, don't look at this ball.
Exactly. But he's still president of the United States. You can't tell your Justice Department what they ought to prosecute.
No question.
I mean, it's.
And this interview was in the Oval Office, and according to the New York Times, Maggie Haberman, you're absolutely right. The interview was he was surrounded at his desk by half a dozen of his highest-ranking aides, including the economic advisor Gary Cohn, the chief of staff Reince Priebus, the vice president of the United States, Mike
Pence. They
have
jobs to do. I mean, they're sitting
there. They were
there,
all in the Oval Office.
This is insane.
But
that all these people
there to try and make sure that Donald Trump stayed on, his talking points, and I guess he didn't.
And I mean, the talking points were Bill O'Reilly, there's nothing to see here. Susan Rice may have committed a crime, which at this point is basically a conspiracy theory to cover up another conspiracy theory about Donald Trump sort of switching one villain for another. So, I mean, this is insane. Do your job.
You know what would be great is if we stopped this stuff, unless he wants to come on CNN. He's always willing to come on here, and instead focused on what the policy in Syria.
Right. Well,
just a thought.
Well,
oh, you mean the interview should have?
Well, let's just say.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying, instead of commenting on Bill O'Reilly, focus on.
And let's just say the president may have made a turn today, and this is the question we always have with Donald Trump, and we had it during the campaign. Do you take him literally when he said today, I have changed, or seriously just, okay, he said, I've changed, and there may not be anything behind it? I think presidents need to be taken literally.
Yeah, well, these are strong words from the President of the United States. A lot of news to follow. That's it for me.